We're live. What is going on, everyone? It's Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one. Today, epic VeVe live stream. We just have one drop today, but I think it's a pretty good drop. I know there's a lot of complaints about it, a lot of criticism, but I'm going to dive into the details, tell you guys my thoughts on it, my game plan, if I'm going to be going for the drop today, if I'm going to be skipping the drop. Shout out to everyone who's joined the live stream today, too. It's been a little bit. It's been about 8 days since I did a live stream drop show today. So it's good to be back. Shout out to December in the chat early today. How we doing, December? Your local scalper in the building. People are trying to get some secret rares today. First one's in the chat. Got a couple good things to go over today. We're going to go over the live drop today, the details of this drop, what I think about it. I'm going to cover a lot of the criticism about this drop. People didn't like the fact that there's a whole bunch of different hammers and different kind of positions, etc. I'm going to talk about my thoughts in just a second. And then we got a good video to go over. And then there's a monumental moment in VeVe's history that's happening right now as I speak. I just got KYC verified. That means cash outs around the corner. A lot of people in the VeVe community already have cash out enabled. They've tested it out. They can cash out to Ethereum. Bitcoin takes 10 minutes. Takes about 2 weeks, up to 2 weeks to cash out to your actual bank account once everything's processed. But I'm going to be talking about that stuff, what I think it means for VeVe's future. I think this is a monumental moment in VeVe's history. Shout out to everyone who's been here for a year, over a year, maybe a couple years, even just the last few months. We've all been through the ups and downs together. We're like a huge family at this point. Gone through a lot of the FUD, the non-believers at this point, saying these gems aren't real. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is real. VeVe NFTs are liquidable. It's game changing. Now, I think we're going to start to see the effects probably not until, a couple weeks after everybody has the cash out rolled out. But this is a huge, huge first step, monumental moment. So before I talk about all the great news that's happening in VeVe's historic monumental moment, I want to go over the details of this drop. Good to be back. We got Fair Price. How we doing? Fair Price. Also, let me know, in the comments, your thoughts about this drop. I know there's a lot of criticism. It's okay if you have some negative criticism thoughts about the drop. Not every single drop is going to be everybody's favorite, but I'm going to maybe give you guys a different perspective of why I think it's actually not so bad. I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. We got Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. So this is a pretty big drop. Just in the fact that, Thor's a huge character. And we do have San Diego Comic-Con coming up soon. And I think there's going to be a Marvel. There's some kind of Marvel sponsorship or something that's happening. So that ties into why I think this isn't going to be that bad of a thing. Again, everything that drops on the VeVe app isn't going to be super insanely highly valuable, one-of-one type price. There's going to be some of that like we've seen before, some huge iconic collectibles and high value. But also there's going to be just some fun collectibles that may not sell out, that are just fun for the fans of that collectible or comic, just to grab because they like it, not grabbing it because they think it's going to be super valuable or something, I always said VeVe's going to have a little bit of everything. So let's dive into it. Now, shout out to Bravo Assassin on Twitter. I saw one of his tweets saying that this is an MCP carrier. And I think, made a great point because there's a lot of rares, ultra rares, and the secret rare in this set. So you don't really see too many commons or uncommons. So the MCP points are going to be pretty high in this one. The one downside I would say about this drop is that it is $60 price point. A little bit too high, I think. Maybe if it was $30, $40, I think $20 would do really well. Probably sell out. But a little bit high of a price point for me. And I think that's a general consensus. People were hoping to see like a $30, $40 price point. But again, the VeVe team, shout out to the Call Me VeVe team. They've always said, not everything's going to be perfectly listed at the perfect price point. It's a little bit of a trial and error point, right? Trial and error along the way. We got 3,800 editions for the rare. Now, this is the one with the cracked hammer here. I think it looks pretty sweet. I feel like this is like the old school. I don't really know too much about the hammers. We're going to dive into a video from VeVe 3. Shout out to Heather and Corey. They're back at it again. Can't wait to go over their video. Real quick before I dive into the video, make sure you guys give them a sub. I'm trying to get them to 5K subs. They definitely deserve it, putting in a lot of work for almost every single drop. I know how much editing, how long that takes. So they're putting in a lot of work. Make sure you guys go watch their videos. Give them all likes. Subscribe to their channel. They're probably going to give us a little bit of a history about all the hammers, but I want to say this is probably like the original one, the one that's cracked. I could be completely wrong, just a complete guess right there. But 3,800 edition, so I'm glad that it's still pretty limited, you know. Another rare. So the same amount of editions for both rares here, 3,800 editions. This is the one that I feel like is before it's cracked. Still that old rusty look though, which I think looks pretty good. A little bit different of a handle there. This one's like a circular little circular little handle that's dangling. Then we got the ultra rare, 2,350 editions for the ultra rare here. Looks like a little bit of a cleaner, newer edition hammer there. Same exact edition count for the other ultra rare. So 2 rares, 2 ultra rares so far. Interesting to see there. They could have easily made it common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare, but I think they wanted to up the MCP points on this one. And it all ties into my theory of why they did this. They could have easily made this $30 list price with less editions and make it sell out ASAP, but I guess I'll touch on it right now. I kind of wanted to finish all the editions, but we're almost there. We're almost at the secret rare. The reason why I think they did a whole bunch of variations of this one instead of just one hammer is because with the San Diego Comic-Con coming up, I think they just want stuff in store, in stock for new users to come in, maybe be fans of, and buy. And they have a digital collectible of something that they're really big fans of. It may not be a high-end, luxury, high-valuable type item. But again, because it's basically like a Marvel-sponsored Comic-Con type thing. I know Marvel's a huge part of it. I don't know if they're an actual sponsor or not. I know Marvel's like a huge theme of it. So it makes a lot of sense to me because if you're a fan of Marvel, you're probably going to like Thor. Probably going to be into it. So I think they could have easily made this like one hammer, 8,000 editions or whatever the amount of editions, and probably would have sold out, right? But it goes into, you know, when there's one collectible, it's a hard drop and everyone's excited for the drop and it sells out immediately and most of the people can't get it. And I end up getting one. Sometimes I don't always get it, but that's when we see so many complaints. It's impossible. Only the people with the good connection, good internet, good location get the job, right? We've seen it how many times by now? People are pissed off because they can't get it. It sells out too fast. But they were excited for the drop. But then when they make 5 variations of the same collectible and it's easier of a drop, everybody gets the drop. Then you have people that are pissed saying, why is my collectible not worth anything? It's like, well, because everybody got one. It goes into that same thought process of like, you know, a participation trophy. It's like everybody wants a trophy, right? Well, if everybody gets a trophy, how valuable is that trophy, right? It could be a fun-looking, cool-looking trophy, and that's kind of what these are, you know, fun-looking, cool-looking collectibles. Everyone has a chance to grab one if they want one. Now, for me, I probably will be skipping this drop personally just because I'm not a big gambler. I'm more so like the competition of it, trying to go for it when there's only maybe 1,000, 2,000 editions, trying to beat out everybody in the world. That's the stuff that I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to that competition, adrenaline rush. But for something like this, now if I absolutely loved it and it's a collectible, maybe it was Tiger Woods, you know, red polo or something, right? I don't know. I'm just in the golf phase right now, you know, huge in the golf. So anything Tiger Woods golf related, I'd be huge on. But say if it was a Tiger Woods red polo and there's different variations of it, right? I would be super excited for that. But most of the people would be like, why in the world would I be over that drop, right? So it all depends on what you're into. I'm not really into, you know, the Thor hammer that much. I think it's a pretty cool drop, but I'd rather try to just pick one up for cheap on the secondary market. There's only 1,000 secret rares. So the people who do go for this, you know, if you have an extra 60 gems that you want to spare and try to just go for the fun of the gamble of the drop, you could luck out and get the secret rare. There's only 1,000 of these, so I think it's instantly going to be above retail price. I don't think it's going to be $1,000 right away, but I could see the secret rare starting off to be a few $100 and then working its way down to a couple hundred, maybe like 175 at the low when everything settles down. But I think as you know, when the first couple collectibles get in the market, a few $100, I think. So if you luck out, get that secret rare. I think it looks pretty sweet too. But for me, since I'm not the biggest fan, if I see something cheap in the market for like half off of retail, eventually just grab one just to have one. But, you know, this is more so, I think, gearing up for that San Diego Comic-Con. Because I think, again, VeVe's always said they want stuff in store, in stock for people, new users to come in and buy, right? So they're going to have some drops that probably stay in stock for those new users to come in, fans to grab one or two, you know, of their favorite type pieces. But they're also going to have drops that sell out immediately, super high valuable, you know, sought after collectibles. So it's going to be a little bit of a give and take, you know. Let me know in the comments. Are you guys skipping this drop? Are you guys going to gamble for it? Or what are you guys doing? I'm personally just going to be skipping this one. I just wanted to come in the live stream, talk with you guys. I'm going to get to some more comments in a minute. Haven't been on the live stream as much lately. I'm kind of torn. I want to hear your thoughts. I did a poll on Instagram, and majority of the people said they would rather just do the live drop shows when there's like big drops going on. But I know there's a lot of people out there that want me to come on for every drop too, so I'm trying to balance the both, as well as get into some other type of content as well too. I tried doing the VeVe Goth vlogs, and for me, that was just something fun to do. I didn't really care if that got 1 view, 1,000 views. I'm going to still do them in the future just because it's really fun to do. But it does take about 6 hours to edit everything, so it's a little bit more work than what it's valued at. But I mean, it's just something fun for me. I like doing that kind of stuff. But let me get to some comments before we dive into some other videos. Price way too high. So many versions too. Yeah, Rich Buddy, I can understand that. I mean, $60 I feel like is a little bit too high of a price point. I was kind of hoping for like a $40, $30 price point. And for me, I'm still trying to, I know last time I talked to you guys, I was telling you guys that I'm trying to save up for a certain type of collectible / comic. Haven't got there yet, and it's been so hard to hold on to the gems as I save up to it. It's a little bit over $1,000 I'm trying to get to. I'm not even really worried about cashing out right now. I did finally get KYC verified, so cash out is coming, which is amazing. It's finally great to finally say VeVe NFTs are liquid. Guys, this is a huge game changer in the mentality. Because look at OpenSea, right? I want to always shout out OpenSea because they were definitely an innovator, pioneer in the space for what they do. But I never thought people loved OpenSea for the quality of their NFTs. I always thought people loved OpenSea because it was liquidable. They knew if they lucked out, got in the right project, things exploded, they could always sell it and profit and cash out instantly. Now with VeVe, people love the quality of the NFTs. People had to do the research that we've all done. You guys have done the research, AMAs for over a year now. You guys had that faith to trust the Economy VeVe team of what they were saying, that cash out would eventually come. Majority of the people, I would say 90% of the world, 95% of the world, 99% of the people would just look at it and say, you can't cash out? You're telling me I have to put my money in or I can't take my money out? Forget it, right? So 99% of the people weren't even thinking of this as a possibility of being real. Now that it's becoming real, it's starting to slowly change that mentality. And I think it's going to take some time. It's not going to be like an instant, we can cash out, go to the moon, right? It's not going to be like that. I know everybody out there wants to call me Moon Boy and everything, but, you know, I think it will take some time because it's a culture shift. You know, we just went over a year of not being able to cash out. These weren't liquidable. So I think it may take, you know, a little bit of time, you know, short amount of time before it becomes in everyone's mentality like, these are liquidable. Now, when I tell my friends, you know, put in $10 for a comic book drop. If you luck out and get the ultra rare, secret rare, it could be, you know, close to $1,000, depending on how popular, how much demand there is. Say we do get that amazing fantasy Spider, right? The Spider-Man FA comic book to come out. Imagine when that eventually comes out. And I tell my buddies, yo, this might be a comic book to go for a drop. You know, might be worthwhile to go for this drop. 99% of my buddies won't even put in $10, $20 to go for a drop because they know they can't pull it out. You know, people with big amounts of money like the Lewis Morgans, you know, Elon Musk, you know, everybody, right? Logan Paul's. I'm sure Logan Paul's already invested. But the people that had to do their research, I always talk about, because, you know, it takes somebody like that Lewis Morgan who accomplished the world, right? You know, sold his shares of Gymshark, you know, already quote unquote made it, right? He could have had a big ego and said, you can't cash out. I'm not putting my money into this. But he did the research it took at the time to have confidence to go into a project like VeVe. You know, so now that it's becoming more acceptable that we can actually withdraw, I think it's going to be game changing. Sugar Shane said, why are we getting blind boxes? It's gambling. Can we get a normal drop like the old drops? Yeah, Sugar Shane, you know me, Sugar Shane 420. I'm glad you brought that up. I know a lot of people like the blind boxes because they couldn't secure a drop for the longest time with the old school drop. But it gets to a point where when we have all these blind boxes, you know, gets that gambling aspect. And me personally, I don't really like to gamble. And there's a lot of people out there that love the gamble aspect, so they become addicted to it. I always want to see VeVe kind of do a little bit of both, because that way they can I always say, when you're as mainstream as VeVe, you have to kind of please an abnormal amount of people, right? You have to please everybody in the world. So there's going to be people like me, maybe like you, Sugar Shane, that love the old school drops. You can pick and choose. Do I want to go for the ultra rare? Maybe I want to risk it and go for that secret rare. Or maybe I just want to lock in a common. That's the kind of drops that I love. It did get to a point when drops got so crowded, so hard, when things were booming. I was like, maybe I do like the blind boxes a little bit more, because it was impossible to lock in anything at one point. So it's a give or take. If you want normal drops and speak up, and VeVe will listen. Yeah, I know VeVe definitely listens to, you know, a lot of the influencers, you know, just the people in the community. I personally do love the normal drops, but again, it gets to that point where it gets so hard to get a drop to where blind boxes can, you know, be beneficial to everybody. It's just when blind boxes are the everyday standard, that gets, you know, a little bit too much, I think. So maybe they can split it up a little bit more. It's been a while since we've had an original old school drop. So I think, you know, maybe the community's, you know, kind of speaking up a little bit, saying that they want to kind of go back to those old school drops, especially now that we've kind of tackled a lot of the bot problems. I don't know if we'll ever get rid of all the bots, but I think, you know, maybe they could start to go back to a little bit more of those OG old school drops where you pick and choose the rarity. And yeah, Tiger already has his own NFT platform, the autograph.io, but he was on DraftKings too. I don't think we've ever seen a 3D augmented reality collectible of any of these players. Same with NBA players, same with MLB players, PGA players. We've seen, you know, I think Candy has NFTs from MLB players, like their cards and everything. And I think that's cool too. But I want to see digital collectibles in 3D augmented reality. I do think we'll eventually get them, but it's going to take some time, of course. They have so many things that they got to roll out first. But do you think these will drop below price? I do think these will go below drop price FM. But one thing that I am loving about these, let me just show you guys real quick. It's pretty limited. So I do wish they were a little bit cheaper, maybe like a $30, $40 list price instead of $60. But here's the thing. We don't have, you know, 9,000, 8,000, 10,000 editions of some of these collectibles. The most we have is 3,800. So maybe these go under drop price just in the very beginning. But I think as we get closer to the San Diego Comic-Con, it could help, you know, raise that price, because there's not too many of these. So because, you know, there's going to be a lot of Marvel fans at the San Diego Comic-Con, I think that could help. And again, I think that's the reason why there's so many variations. If they just did one hammer, we would all love it, obviously, in the VeVe community, because it would be an adrenaline rush. It could be pretty valuable. But I think they geared this one up to kind of have some stuff in store, in stock in a couple weeks for when that San Diego Comic-Con comes around. That's just my thought process of it, my kind of speculation of it, the reason why they did that. Sugar Shane's good. Skip, big pass. Yeah, it's okay to skip this one. Again, I've been pretty disciplined with my drops lately, guys. You guys know I haven't been going for every single drop, more so like what I was doing in the very beginning. Some of that's because I'm trying to save up for one comic book right now, or collectible. Don't want to give it away just yet, but I haven't gotten it yet. And it's like I said earlier, it's so hard to, when you're trying to save up to a certain price point, especially when it's like over $1,000 and you get to say 400, 500, 600 gems. You're starting to see all these deals in the market. Especially right now, I saw a couple golden moments that I was like, oh, man. I want to grab some duplicates of these right now, ASAP. Shout out to Kay. I know Kay's got hundreds of these. But I saw Donald Duck and Daisy super low. I was like, oh, my gosh. How do I not grab another one of these? But the only reason why I haven't grabbed some of the collectibles that I've seen that are bargain deals right now is just because I already have one of them. Some of them I do have duplicates of, but I do want to grab one comic book that I don't have just yet. So I'm trying to, instead of adding some duplicates at cheap prices, I just want to go for one of these comics that I haven't gotten just yet, or collectibles. But I'm trying to save up for something. It's a little bit over 1,000. I'm only at like 300 gems right now. And I don't really have the cash to be adding in more. If this was a few months ago, man, if I had just waited yeah, a few more months to add in some more cash to buy now, it'd be huge. Yeah, it probably won't sell out, Tito 420. I'm more excited of tomorrow's FA George Washington. Shout out to Bow. Yeah, we got to. I wish they had the Medium article out. They don't have the Medium article out just yet on it. I was going to go over it, but I think I can go on Twitter. VeVe did tweet out the drop. Is it tomorrow? Is it for Saturday's drop? Saturday or Sunday? Yeah, Saturday. So let me share the screen real quick. Restart to install the latest Windows. Did not do that yet. All right, let me share the screen real quick. Yeah, FA George Washington. This is pretty sweet. I didn't think about it like that. So for tomorrow's drop, we have the USPS stamps again, which is just crazy every time I see this. USPS, the United States Postal Service, is partnered with VeVe. A federal government is with a digital collectible crypto company. Insane. If that doesn't solidify longevity to you guys, I don't know what will. So we got 6 pieces of individual digital stamp art plus a souvenir sheet. Okay, so it looks like a lot of different items coming. Maybe 7 different total pieces on Saturday. I wonder what they all look like. This is going to be one of them. Pretty sweet, the classic era. Yeah, this is FA George Washington, which is kind of cool. I don't know how big of a deal it'll be, but I think it's pretty sweet. Shout out to anyone who's collecting all the stamps, trying to be a master collector of all the stamps. I do think they could do well long term. Short term, there's probably going to be cooler, shinier, new object type things in the medium short term that could overshadow the stamps. But I think long term, a lot of the stamps could do well. I'm really bullish on the first ever stamps. I have 5 rares that I don't plan on selling. Had a couple uncommons that I let go just because I'm trying to save up for a comic book, like I've been telling you guys. I said before that I'm trying to hold on to like all of my big collectibles, but some of the stuff that I don't absolutely love or I feel like that I have a good amount of that I can let go, I'm trying to use that as liquid to save up for this comic book / collectible that I really want. If I didn't have 5 rares, I would have never sold the uncommons, but I have a full set of under 1,000 mint of the first ever stamp, so I'm holding on to that, plus the 5 extra rares. But yeah, I think those are good ones to stack. Last one was Batman. It was awesome. Wow, has it been that long since an original OG drop where we got to pick and choose? Wow. All right, yeah, maybe I will, let someone from the team know. Maybe I'll say some people from the community are speaking up a little bit, want the OG old school drops. Maybe not every time, because I think the blind boxes are better suited for like a brand new user. But I think for people that have had some experience, I think we'd like the OG drops a little bit better. It gives us a choice, That way, too, I think it helps the reselling of it. So for a blind box, you could be stuck with the one you didn't want. So a lot of people may just sell that for cheap because they didn't really want it. But when we have those OG old school drops, you pick and choose which one you want. So you would think, even though we've seen it happen before, you would think when people pick and choose the one that they want, they're not going to just sell it for low. But we've seen it happen here and there. Absolutely, Sugar Shane. Appreciate you for tuning in, as always. Yeah, it's definitely a good one. I think if someone's looking to buy, they should consider the classic, like Batman Black and White. Definitely, Rich Buddy, like a new user coming to VeVe with some extra gems, looking to see like which ones they want to cop and pick up. I definitely agree. I think because that's season 1. When you think of historic pieces, I think of season 1, and maybe not every season 1 collectible will be huge, high in value. I do think season 1 collectibles will be a big deal. But when you look at some of the season 1 collectibles, they may not have that IP power like Batman does. So I definitely agree, Rich Buddy. I think it's a pretty safe play. When you think of, huge IP, Batman is definitely one of them. And then when you think of historic factors, season 1 is going to be out of reach for a lot of people. So Steve McReeve, too many deals in the marketplace to spend $60 on this drop. I'm out. definitely, I can definitely understand that. I mean, there's a lot of great buys in the market for $60. I think some of the top tier comics, whether that be common or uncommon, are still probably about $60, maybe even just a little bit lower than $60. So definitely agree with that, Steve McGreeve. It's okay to pass on a drop too, guys. I mean, don't think just because VeVe drops it, you have to go for it. You know, some of these drops, like I said, are going to be for those hardcore fans, people that just want to have fun, people that just like the collectible because they think it's cool. Some people just go after the collectibles that are high in value, right? Everyone has their own little strategy, own niche. So for me, I'm going to be passing on this drop just because I'm not the biggest fan of it. But again, say if Tiger Woods red polo dropped and you got a different variation of all the color polos or something, you know, I think that would be something that I would buy because I'm into that. Everybody would be looking at that though and be like, I'm skipping on this drop, right? So same goes for this Thor drop. The people that are huge fans of Marvel, Thor, you know, Thor's hammer is a pretty big deal. So those people I think will be going for the drop, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know, because they'd be okay with getting the one of the rares or one of the ultra rares, and if they luck out, they get the secret rare. So, you know, to each his own. VeVe3 in the building. Haven't got to your video just yet. We'll be tuning in just a little bit. Appreciate you for tuning in, and I'm glad you're back with the content. I took a little break from the live drop shows too, as well. I'm glad. I think you guys are moved into your new house and new place and everything, right? Can't wait to tune in, maybe see the new setup. So that's going to be fun to see. Are the stamps the most underrated on the app? I'm not sure, real talk. Do you mean all the real stamps or the first set of stamps? I would say maybe the first set of those stamps, the Day of the Dead ones. But I mean, maybe all the stamps. It really just depends. I think super long term. You know, I don't think short term, because there could just be a little bit more popular items to drop in the short term that may get all the stamps kind of hit hard. But ooh, this is actually a huge point, which kind of goes into what Real Talk is saying about being sleepers. VeVe3 said, only stamps coming from the United States here on VeVe. It's wild to think about. That is wild to think about. Wow. United States stamps only here on VeVe. It is wild to think about. Only downside is other countries' official government NFT stamps are usable. That is true. We don't know if they're going to be on other platforms, etc. But I definitely think, stamps could be underrated, because stamps are what started collecting as a whole. You know, like people started collecting stamps, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the first ever type collectibles. Besides, I guess, rocks. I mean, the very first ever humans collected different kinds of rocks, so that I would say maybe rocks. But we don't have rocks on the VeVe app. I know there's NFT rocks out there on OpenSea. Maybe those would be good for you. But I definitely think stamps are legit. You know, I mean, when you're licensed with USPS, a federal government, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. I prefer to buy real stamps. Nothing wrong with the real stamps either. You know, matching the physicals to the digital stamps, that's pretty sweet. I think that's the future too. I mean, when you talk about comic books, people are already matching their physical comics with the digital comic books. Collectibles, same way. Todd McFarlane. I think stamps will just be another outlet, you know, same thing. The Comic-Con, good question, Real Talk. I believe it's the end of July. I'm not sure the exact dates. I think I did look it up. Let's see here. San Diego Comic-Con. Thursday, July 21st to Sunday, July 24th. So in a couple weeks. Hey, let's go. Shout out to VeVe Theory. Heather and Corey moved in the new studio. With that being said, should we dive right into their video? Have it brought up and everything. I hope you guys don't mind. I know there's a discussion about other people using other people's videos and in their content. I hope you guys don't mind. If you guys do mind, just let me know and I won't play your videos. But I don't think you guys mind at all. I mean, what I'm trying to do is just give you guys more publicity, more light. I mean, you guys are pretty much the same amount of subscribers I am, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much. But you know, I always want to make sure give you guys credit, because I know how much work it takes to edit all these videos, put them out for every drop. So I just want to shed some light in your videos, because you guys make great content. It makes the drops a little bit more fun too, because people like me may not know the history of these collectibles and everything. So I think it's a pretty good thing to have for the drops. Invisible Friends, Twitter 400K. I think we're all in the same boat. You're not going for the drop. I actually won't be going for today's drop either. Let me pass. And I just wanted to come on the live stream with you guys. I'm still not sure if I'm going to be doing every single drop live, or maybe just the bigger drops. Like I said earlier in the live, I'll say it again. I ran a poll on Instagram the other day, and majority of the people said they'd rather just come on the live for the bigger drops instead of like every single drop. But it all depends. I just do whatever I have fun doing, and whatever I like doing. So we'll see what happens. But let me know in the chat. Would you guys want me to go live for every drop, even if it's only like an hour long? Some of these live drop shows be like 3-4 hours, so won't be doing that every time. But I was thinking maybe for the bigger drops, just stay longer, and then maybe just for the smaller drops, go for like an hour. Kind of just touch base, talk with the fam. I really wanted to come on here and just talk about the drop, of course, but being KYC verified, having cash out, and what I think that's going to do for the whole entire VeVe market, the VeVe community. I think it's going to be big time. Again, guys, this is a historic moment in VeVe. This is probably going to give us the most confidence that we've ever had in the history of VeVe, if you think about it, for the majority of users. Because obviously, you guys that are tuned in right now, I mean, for me too, pretty much everyone who's tuned in these days, we've all done our research for years now, right? We've been in every AMA listening, so we've done the research. We knew this day would come, but I would say for the majority of the people in the world, they never thought this day would come. They never thought these gems would be real, be able to cash out, etc. They thought it was just a scam. So this is big time. You can tell your friends, family now to join the VeVe app without having any kind of worry that, because that was the thing too. I know a lot of people stopped telling friends and family to join the VeVe app because cash out's been delayed. People kept asking, yeah, but we can't cash out. When? Soon? So all that stuff's over. It's finally rolling out. Yeah, the price is just high for the artifact. Originally, I thought we were going to be getting like a whole bunch of different artifacts, like Iron Man's helmet or mask, whatever you want to say, all different types of things. But again, I think the reason why they did this, all different variations of the same hammers, because I think they just want some stuff in store for when new users join the app. So if stuff stays in store and stock and doesn't sell out for a couple weeks, well, guess what? New users, I'm not saying every new user who goes to the San Diego Comic-Con will come, because probably not every single one, right? There's only a small percentage that'll download the app, that'll actually buy stuff. So, but the ones that do come, they're probably going to be into Thor, and they're probably going to want one variation of Thor's hammer. So for them to be able to buy it in store in stock, or maybe cheap on the secondary, eventually we've seen it with a whole bunch of things. A year from now, it probably won't be on the retail still, but it's an ebb and flow of the market, so we'll see. We make content for it to be shared, my guy. Just to note, the edition size for Stormbreaker is 1K, not 500. That was a typo. Oh, okay, good to know. Good to know. Is Stormbreaker that secret rare? Yep, Stormbreaker. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So yeah, 1,000 editions. We'll get to that. Shout out to Luke 001. How we doing? How we doing? We got Punch in the building, waiting for Miami. I can't wait until Miami golf. I don't think I've ever played golf in Florida. Maybe just a couple times when I went as a little kid. But I haven't played golf in Florida in a decade. Oh my gosh, I can't wait, man. There's so many nice courses in Florida. Oh, man, Punch, you are unbelievable, man. Staying at your house? Punch, I appreciate you, brother. I'd be down for October, man. As long as you're down, I'm going to take you up on that offer, brother. Punch, that would be a great time, man. That'd be a great time. Let me, should we dive into the video now from VeVe 3 while they're here? Let's do it. Already gave them a like. Watched a little bit of their video. I think I did check out their new studio just a bit. Again, guys, if you guys are following VeVe 3, Heather and Corey, making amazing content. It takes a lot to edit these videos for every drop, too. They're putting in a lot of work, so become a member, maybe at least subscribe to their YouTube channel. You know, trying to get them to 5K. I think they definitely deserve it. Like their videos, watch their videos. A lot of good information, especially if you're not too aware of these drops. They provide a lot of good background information so you get some knowledge out of it. Let's dive into it. Plus, it's not too long. You know, short content, you can get through it. I know some people like the longer content. Some people like the shorter content. So here it is.
Welcome back to VeVe N3 with me, Corey, aka Old Rhubarb on VeVe, and
me, Heather, from the VeVe, and also Heroes and Heroines.
And we have a whole arsenal of weapons landing on the platform with this. I think it's titled Mjolnir series drop, but we're also getting Stormbreaker in there, so it's not all just hammers. This one's going to be dropping on July 8th. That's Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, the same day as the Love and Thunder movie premiere.
Ooh.
Entry point bid for this blind box series, it's going to be 60 gems. Let's get into this thing.
And just in case you're not into Thor, Mjolnir is Thor's hammer. It was his weapon in the Poetic Edda and was forged by dwarves. It was a weapon Thor used in mythology to crush giants and enemies, but something he also used to sanctify and bless. This duality was important when understanding the mythology of Thor and why he was a favored god for those who worshipped him. He and his hammer not only represented valor, strength, and indomitable courage, but a hammer could also be used to build, repair, and strengthen things.
And obviously, the Marvel comic and Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Mjolnir is a little bit different, but not really in a bad way. It adds a lot to the story itself. And let's face it, we all love seeing Chris Hemsworth just smashing people's heads in with Mjolnir. And we've been seeing some mixed messages and mixed feelings on all the different social platforms about this drop. And honestly, we kind of have mixed feelings about it too. So let's do a really quick pros and cons information dump on this drop.
One of the first pros for this drop is it is coming straight from Marvel Studios. So for fans of the movie, you're getting the replica of the weapon utilized in that movie. It's a great display piece, and that would pair amazingly with the other collectibles, comics, and posters coming from the Thor franchise. The other pro that we've considered is that there's a more limited mint run.
Yeah.
The Doctor Strange Eye of Agamotto minted more and had a slightly higher price point as well. But now that brings us to the cons.
And the first con for me is that these all look to be mounted to the pedestal, which is kind of a bummer. I think the thing that I really liked about the lightsabers, other than being a Star Wars fanboy, is that you can take those lightsabers and put them in the hands of whatever collectible that you have that also has hands. These stuck to the pedestal, so that's kind of a bummer.
That is kind of a bummer. Now, I will say, all speculation, I could be completely wrong with that, because I do agree with that. I kind of wish we could take them out, put them with different collectibles. Now, we don't know if we can take it out of that stand just yet. We don't know for sure. It's looking like we probably can't. Another part of speculation is that I had long-term play. Once we have VeVe in the Oculus, VeVe in the Apple glasses, maybe VeVe in the Komi glasses one day, that or the headset, that's when I think we'll probably be able to pick these up with our hands and like that virtual reality type thing. But that's all speculation and a huge long-term play. I'm not saying to grab it because of that. Just kind of my thought process, because I was thinking the same thing. It'd be cool to take the hammer out, kind of like the lightsabers, and put them with different characters.
And another con is the apparent complete lack of animation or sound. Take the Hasbro Marvel Legends Love and Thunder Mjolnir. That puppy has a stand. It could be removed from it. And all the cracks have blue light electricity peeking through. That, for me, would have just added a lot of depth to the collectible. With all that being said, let's take a look at these variants and just see what the deal is with these. First, we have the rare Love and Thunder Mjolnir minting 3,800 editions. Teasers for the upcoming movie have shown that Mjolnir was reassembled magically by Jane Foster, who becomes the mighty Thor herself. Should be fun to see how Thor reacts to seeing his hammer in her hands. The leather strap on the handle kind of gives me a keychain feeling, which isn't a great thing. This one would have been much cooler if those cracks were emitting that blue light that we saw in that toy earlier.
Now, again, speculation. But what if this would completely surprise everybody and make everybody super excited? If you, once we got these delivered, if we could like press it, and once you click on it, you could take the hammer out and it does animate or something. I'm not saying it's going to, but that would be a huge pro. It would be a huge surprise, beneficial. Everybody would be excited, and probably would help the price on a lot of them too. So we'll see if that happens. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but That would definitely be interesting.
Next, also coming in at rare, we have the Marvel Studios Thor, Mjolnir minting 3,800 editions. You'll notice the placard on the pedestal matches the first Thor movie title logo, and this hammer looks identical to the one Odin cast away from Thor before banishing him to Midgard. Perhaps one of the most iconic scenes was Thor attempting to unearth the hammer that was surrounded by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, and this hammer appears to be completely identical to that one.
The ultra-rare Dark World Mjolnir is minting 2,350 editions. Obviously, we're getting the identical logo movie placard again. Beyond that, the big difference between this one and the previous variant is the addition of the reinforced metal on the handle, which connects to the leather strap. This allows Thor to swing Mjolnir like a helicopter propeller, which is effective for both combat and for flight.
Also at ultra rare, we have the Ragnarok variant minting 2,350 editions. The biggest apparent difference here is the keyring loop leather strap, but if we look closer, we can see some of the subtle differences as well. That metal reinforcement attachment that holds the leather strap on has been reworked. The base of the handle where it attaches to the body has scoring and wear, and the luster of the metal has dulled, perhaps reflective of Thor becoming lost and unworthy, fearful of the impending loss of his father and responsibility he would soon inherit.
And last, the secret rare isn't a hammer at all. Never forget what Odin said.
It's too strong. Without my hammer, I can't.
Are you Thor, the god of hammers? That hammer was to help you control your power, to focus it. It's never your source of strength.
Created in the heart of a star by Eitri, Thor wielded Stormbreaker against Thanos, dealing him a mortal blow, then removing his head with it later on. The handle was created from the...
So that's it's 1,000 editions, actually. That's the little caveat he put in the chat there. So 1,000 editions for is pretty limited. So if you guys do go for the drop and you luck out for this one, 1,000 editions will be pretty solid, I think.
The body of Groot and is much longer, allowing Thor to wield it with both hands, making it absolutely devastating piece of hardware. Eitri, after creating Stormbreaker, told Thor that Stormbreaker was meant to be the strongest weapon in Asgardian history, and Thanos would probably agree.
And that's a wrap for this info dump. Good luck if you decide to go for it. I don't think we're going to participate in the actual drop because we think we can pick these up in the marketplace for a little less than retail. I think we're going to be going for the Love and Thunder version and definitely Stormbreaker. So until next time, this is Heather.
And Corey.
Signing off.
Good luck, guys. Great video. Once again, as always. Again, if you guys aren't subbed to VeVe3, you guys are missing out. They're going to blow up. They're going to be at 5-10K subs. Then you guys are going to be subbing to their channel. So support early. Get in, subscribe to their channel, make amazing content. VeVe3, legends. Let's go, Bobby Green. Appreciate you for tuning in today. My man, I love VeVe3's content. I think they make it great content. And I know how much work editing takes. So making all those videos for every drop, it's a lot of work. It's not the easiest thing in the world. So they're grinding. And I always try to make people, appreciate those that grind hard. Good luck to those going for the drop. Absolutely December. I don't think you're going to be going for this drop either December. So have a good night's sleep when you do fall asleep. Wow, amazing idea. Yeah, Florida has amazing golf courses, and I definitely need to play at Disney and use my Disney golden moments all over the course. That would be insane. Actually, I did go golfing once in Florida. I forgot about it. Last time I went to Florida, it was actually the last time I went to Florida. So I went to Florida 4 years in a row for college baseball. Never obviously even brought my golf clubs because we were there on a baseball mission. But after I graduated college, I actually went back to Florida, to Orlando, with a couple of my buddies. I think like 4 or 5 of my buddies. One of my buddies, his parents had a place in Orlando that was pretty expensive, so they let us stay there for like a week. I forgot all about that, and I had the time of my life. It was honestly so much fun. And we did go golfing once, and the golf course was amazing. So I forgot about that. Yeah. There's just something different about Florida golf, Johnny Dunn going for 20 on the drop. Sugar Rush. Actually, no, I'm actually going to be skipping this drop, guys. I'm going to be passing on. I feel like the $60 price point is a little bit too expensive. The one beneficial thing that VeVe3 talked about in their channel was the edition count. Let me just bring that up real quick, because that's what's different about this. You know, 1,000 editions for the secret rare, that's obviously going to do really well. Probably a few hundred right away. But even the rares, like these could have easily been commons, like 10,000 editions, but they kept it pretty limited still. So both rares are only 3,800 editions. So that's pretty solid right there. So, you know, even though it's $60, I think it would definitely go to like 30 and below if there was that 10,000 edition type thing. So I think they did a good job at keeping it pretty limited still. So we'll see what happens. I'm not too sure about this. I do believe the Eye of Agamotto will be wearable. But again, I think that's that long-term play. Once the VeVe app's in the Oculus, once VeVe's in the Apple AR glasses, VR glasses eventually, once VeVe's in the Okomi AR VR glasses one day, I think that's when we'll be able to like look at the stuff that we have in our collection, pick it up, maybe put it on different collectibles. And I feel the same could be true with Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. I could be wrong. That's just speculation, of course. And we got Miss Rose in the building, coming off the secret rare Stitch. How we doing? How we doing, Miss Rose? Hope everything has been well. Yeah, Throg. This is, Punch. This is one thing that I brought up to a couple of people. Now, I'm not the biggest expert on Thor's hammer, and everything, but I did notice Throg. Is that the FE Thor's hammer? Has the same writing on it and everything as Thor's hammer. Now, some people say Throg's hammer is like a pebble that came off of Thor's hammer and sculpted into a hammer or something. But I'm not sure. I only have like a uncommon Throg, but it's a low mint. I got the low mint because of that. That was a while back. It was pretty cheap. But interesting. Let me know in the comments. Is that correlated at all? Do you think Throg has the FA Mjolnir hammer, or is it completely different, not the same thing? Because I understand that too. It could be completely two different items, two different hammers. Ooh, good to know, Superman. So maybe that comes from Marvel. Maybe because Marvel is super strict. Because that's the other thing. These IPs, it kind of goes to show you how strict they are with their IP. And so for the fact that VeVe has all these IPs is just crazy because, I mean, when you start hearing things like this, and this could definitely be the case, Superman, I'm not positive, but it could be, the reason why they may be static in the case or the shelf or whatever you want to say, it's like in that position. And we may not be able to take them out and put them with different collectibles or anything because Marvel might be strict with it. Supposedly, they don't even let you use them on Fortnite with the skins. Wow, interesting. Yeah, no commons, no uncommons today. A little bit different. So what this tells me is that these would be great for a new user looking to get MCP points because they know they can get, I think Bravo Assassin said it's like 13 Master Collector Program points if you complete this set. So it could come out super cheap and it could be a huge MCP set to get. So 2 rares to start it off. Yep, 2 rares at 3,800. And then it goes right to 2 ultra rares. And then the secret rare. So they could have easily made this, common for this one, uncommon for that one, rare, ultra rare, and then the secret rare. They could have easily done that. But because it's different variations of the same collectible, having all these MCP points with the rares, the ultra rares, definitely gives it a little bit more of a boost, especially with the limited editions. So I think they kind of like compensated. They knew that they were giving probably something that the community wasn't the biggest fans of right away, but the community is definitely fans of the limited editions. 3,800 being the most editions. It's pretty limited. So I definitely like that fact. They have done surprise things with drops and never know. Absolutely. And that's why I'm kind of, I left that option as just speculation. But could you imagine the uproar of excitement in the community if we have the drop, people open it up, preview it, or they get it delivered and they look at it and they click on it, and then all of a sudden it lights up in the blue lightning and you can take it off the stand and put it with different collectibles. Wow, that'd be crazy. If that happens, you can bet I'm clipping this and I'll post it on Twitter. But You know, if it doesn't happen, you know, it's okay. I do think it's eventually going to happen, but I'm not saying they grab it because of that. It's just like a cool little surprise if it does happen once we get inside these VR goggles, whether it's, you know, Oculus, Apple. Eventually, I do believe Okomi will come out with their own headset, AR, VR glasses eventually. But again, that's not coming out next month, you know, long-term play there. I hope it is animated like the lightsabers. And just like what VeVe and 3 said, I didn't realize the physical version of some of those hammers are animated. They do have that, you know, electric blue lightning going through, which would be huge. I pressed it on the web app and it doesn't not do anything. Using a double negative, are you doing that on purpose to try to fool us? Or do you mean that it doesn't do anything? Besides the SR, which is your favorite? You know, Punch, good question here. I haven't really taken a deep dive and look at them. So besides the secret rare, kind of like the Dark World. I like how that clean, that like it looks clean, and then it has that design on like the sides there. Kind of like that. And these are cool too because this actually comes from Love and Thunder. Like this is the one that's in the movie. Marvel Studios Thor, the Mjolnir. These are like the legendary ones, I feel like. But then again, this one looks awesome too. Is The Dark World another title of a different movie? Because that could be the case. I don't know Thor movies like that, so. Yeah, let me check on the web app just to double check, but I definitely take your word for it. I do have the VeVe web app up and ready. For some reason, the profile section doesn't load for me. So if they call me VeVe teams tuning in, listening, I wonder why the profile tab's still not working. It is in beta, so I know some people had some issues with certain things, and that's probably just an issue. But a lot of the other tabs work for me. You know, market works, store tab works, collection works. I don't think the feed works just yet, but let's take a look. So this drop is a mobile exclusive experience. Let's bring up the secret rare. Who was it who said? Yeah, shout out to Omar Casa J. I take your word for it. It probably doesn't do anything in the like any animation, I guess, or anything like that, but we're just going to test it out. We got 8 minutes to the drop, everybody. Now, this drop, I don't think we need to bust out rhythm gate, timing gate. I could be wrong. I do love the fact that there's not many additions. So if there's just more people that go for it than the additions there are, it's going to sell out, obviously, but not too sure. I think it could sell out a little bit quicker than people think, but I just don't think the prices in the market are going to reflect that. Yeah, for some reason, I feel like it doesn't load every time for me. Shout out to Non-Fungible. We're going to be busting out his music on some streams in a little bit, maybe next live stream. Let's try it again one more time. I wonder if Google Chrome is just the, I got to open up a different Explorer maybe. Oh, no, there we go. Let's go. See, I was thinking maybe we can click on it and we can take it out. I do think we will be able to. But it looks like it's pretty stationary, static in the app at least. It looks like, see, I will say this is speculation, of course, but kind of like the Eye of Agamotto, I believe once we're in the Oculus, once we're in the Apple headsets, the Komi headsets, etc., this is something we'll probably be able to like touch with our hands in VR and like take it out. I could see that happening. Speculation, of course, maybe it doesn't happen, but just the way I see things. Would love that. Let's go, the Dark World. Yeah, that's probably my favorite too, Punch. I like the Dark World one. I just like how clean it looks. I like the handle, and the design on the sides here look pretty like luxurious. I just think it looks clean, you know. I like that one. It's ultra rare too. Some MCP points on this one, and we do know that Master Collector Program is going to be the next big thing they're going to be working on / rolling out after the cash outs widespread. That was a question that shout out to Crypto Khaki. He asked David Yu in the last AMA on Twitter. It is recorded, so if you guys don't believe me for whatever reason, it's a 2-hour long recording. Twitter Spaces. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. So if you go to the VeVe Twitter, scroll down. And we will find it. Here it is. So June 28th, it was posted. So you could play this recording 2 hours long. I believe the second half of it, so like after an hour, you could probably fast forward it like an hour and 10 minutes, and then they'll talk about it. Yeah, it does look like it should be animated or something like that. That would be awesome. But usually we can kind of see that in the web app, like we saw with the dinosaurs, etc. So maybe they fixed that and you can't see it until after the drop. That could be the case. Or maybe it just doesn't animate, right? And it's just a stationary static collectible for the time being. Absolutely. Keep grinding, guys. You guys are going to be big time. Just keep grinding away. Omi Power. I'm actually not grabbing any of these, to be honest, Omi Power. If you guys haven't saw the very beginning of the live, I was talking about how I'm still trying to save up to grab a comic book that I don't have just yet, or collectible. I don't want to give it away just yet. It's a little bit over $1,000 or 1,000 gems, so I'm not there just yet. I'm only at probably about 300 gems right now. There's so many deals in the market. That's the hardest part, is like as you get to like 600, 800 gems, even 300 gems, there's so many deals in the market I'm looking at, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Do I veer off and I don't get this one that I've really been wanting, and I just grab a duplicate of this one because it's too cheap right now? But I already have a lot of big duplicates, so I said, you know what? I'd rather go for a collectible or a comic book that I don't have, it's been on my wish list. I feel like once I grab this one, I've been blessed so many times since I started VeVe, even my whole life. Just everything's been a blessing, where I'll feel like I have everything I possibly could ever ask for. So I just need one more thing, but grinding on the course. Let's go. I feel like the golf course has been my second home. I was actually going to become a member at this golf course. But I'm looking at it in Omi prices. Like that's a lot of Omi right there. Do I add another mil Omi, or do I become a member? And I haven't became a member just yet, just because they have a deal. Like if I become a member right now, I only have basically free golf until end of 2022, as opposed to if I wait another 2 months and then become a member in September, I have all of September, October, November, December, plus all of 2023. So I want to become a member now so I can get as much practice in as possible before the tournament in a couple of months. But also I feel like I can wait a couple months, become a member, and then it's just better off, because instead of only becoming a member for the last 5 months of the year or whatever, I have the rest of the 4 or 5 months plus all of 2023. So just be better off financially if I do wait a little bit. Absolutely, yeah. And punchies are actually pretty limited, I feel like. Maybe they could have made the second ultra rare or second rare a little bit more limited instead of having both the same, but I feel like overall it's pretty limited. Oh, good to know. See, I need VeVe 3 in my life to keep me updated with all the knowledge I need. That's good to know, though. Good to know. That's why, VeVe 3 make great content for the drops. A lot of us, we aren't knowledgeable about a lot of these collectibles, comics that drop. And either they are knowledgeable about it, or they do the research and then they present it to us in a quick, easy fashion. So shout out to VeVe 3. You guys got to subscribe to the channel. It is merchandise from Marvel. Yep. And again, I think this is kind of the beginning we have the drop happening in like right now. 20 seconds to the drop. So I'll stop rambling in case anyone's going for the drop. Don't want to, mess you guys up. I don't think it's going to sell out instantly, but it could. Buy now button should pop up right below the comments in the heart. 3, 2, 1, 0. Buy now. I would have had perfect timing. No, I'm not going for this drop, but shout out to everyone who is. I wish you guys the best. I wish you guys secret rare. I think it's going to sell out quicker than people think. I just don't think it's going to be crazy expensive in the marketplace. You have a 1 in 14 chance of getting the secret rare, a 1 in 5 chance at both ultra rares, and a 1 in 3 chance at one of the rares. Actually, pretty good odds, to be honest, for a secret rare. 1 in 15, not bad. You got Tabs Trades in the building. How we doing, Tabs? How we doing? Hope all has been well, my man. How's everything been? Grateful I called credit card fraud on $5K worth of VeVe purchases and sold my gems on eBay before they closed my account. Lil Mayo Area 52. Yeah, I mean, people are going to have their opinions, right? People thought Bitcoin fell off in 2017 and they sold everything then too. To each his own. I hope you made some profits, my man. There's nothing wrong with having some profits. I'm not sure what the credit card fraud on 5K gems worth of VeVe purchases were about, but hopefully you got all that solved and figured out. It sounds like they closed your account. Well, hopefully everything is all good, my man. Lil Mayo. Area 52. Mark Freeman. Yeah, definitely. I'm not going for any just because I'm trying to save up for something that I don't have just yet. And it's a little bit over 1,000 gems, so I'm trying to work my way up there without letting go of any of my top tier comics or collectibles. Some of you guys have probably seen some of my collectibles in the market. And I bet some of you guys are like, what are you doing? Johnny's selling everything. But, I'm holding most of my stuff. Maybe some of the collectibles or comics I don't absolutely love. Maybe I got for MCP points. I've been letting go of some smaller stuff just because I'm trying to lock in one thing. And I feel like once I get this collectible or comic, I'll feel completed. But again, so hard to not spend these gems on all these great deals in the market because I'm seeing stuff go for crazy, crazy cheap. Where it's made me rethink a few times where I'm like, man, do I hold off on grabbing this comic that I really, really want and just, just keep grabbing duplicates of these cheap collectibles? But yeah, I don't think it's going to sell out either, Taps. Maybe, I think it might be sold out by now, actually. Nope, not yet. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone's right. It is probably going to last a while. I thought maybe because the editions were smaller than usual, it would sell out a little bit quicker than people thought. But again, $60 price point I felt like was just a little bit too high for most people. If it was $30, I think this one would probably sell out. But again, I don't think it's actually a big deal if this doesn't even sell out because like I was saying earlier is that we have the San Diego Comic-Con coming up. And I'm not sure. Do you guys know if Marvel's a sponsor of that or are they just playing a big role or what's the case with Marvel? Because I feel like Marvel, like the fans of the Comic-Con, right? The people that are going to San Diego Comic-Con, they're going to be fans of Marvel. And so when they find VeVe there and they're already fans of Marvel, not everyone's going to sign up to the VeVe app right away from it. The ones that do sign up to VeVe, they're going to be into Marvel already. So when they find Thor, then they find Thor's hammer, and if it's still in stock in store, that gives a great opportunity for them to maybe buy one, or maybe they see it for cheaper under retail in the marketplace, and they'll grab a couple. So again, I think this one's more so just like a fun drop for the fans of Thor and Marvel stuff like that. Shout out to Christian J, my guy. How we doing? Skipping the drop today, but good luck on the secret rare if you're going for it. Yeah, I passed on today's drop, brother. I think a lot of us are skipping this drop. But yeah, shout out to anyone. Let me know if anyone did go for the drop and get the secret rare, because I do think the secret rare is going to be a few $100. If you had 140 gems, what would you buy? Hey, shout out to Mark Freeman. So I only have like just under 300 gems right now. But again, I'm trying to save up for something that's a little bit over 1,000 gems. It might even be under 1,000 gems right now, but it's something I don't have, so I've been trying to save up till I get it. If I had 140 gems and I'm looking to buy stuff right now, man, I only have one of these, so I'm not trying to pump it. I know Kay is gonna love this comment because he has hundreds of these. And I was gonna buy another one for under 200. I think they are still under 200. A little bit more than 140, but I think Donald Duck and Daisy are a steal at 180, 190. What I saw it at. I know Kay was buying them at like 400. I think that was a good deal, but now it's even cheaper. So when I think of, iconic IPs, I think of all the Disney stuff. And when you think of Donald and Daisy, that's huge. But 140 gems, there's a lot of comic books, like Holy Grail comic books that are either commons, uncommons, or rares under 140. I think the market's still open. No, market's closed today, actually. They closed it. So I don't know offhand. But I would say look at maybe like the top 5 comic books, top 3 comic books. Comics and Crypto, they have a great ranking system on their Twitter. I love trying to pick their brain, and I always shout them out because I think they're a great resource. And maybe look at like the uncommons, the rares, the commons of like their top 3, top 5 Holy Grail comics. I think they're going to be huge. If you can find any legendary FA, highly popular, sought after collectibles. That's why I said Donald and Daisy for like 190. Maybe if you can add another 50 gems and grab a Donald and Daisy FA, that's huge. I've been like, oh my gosh, how do I not add a couple more at that price? But I'd ruin all my gems. And again, yeah, absolutely taps. I was like, 1 mil Omi could buy a few golf memberships at almost any golf course in the future. So that's another reason why I've been holding off on the golf membership. It's about the same price as 1 million Omi right now. And I've been, pretty fortunate to have a good relationship with the golf courses that I go to. Like Ron Jaworski's the owner of a lot of these golf courses that I go to. And I've talked to Ron before, and he lets me go in there and just practice. I usually go after everybody's teed off and just go on the course and practice. I clean up after myself, fix all my ball marks, everything. And they have a practice screen that'll go on during the day. So it's just there's one dude at the course that doesn't like when I do it. He just has an ego problem. Everyone else at the course loves when I come. I promote them. I take videos of them. Ron Jaworski owns it. He lets me. There's just one dude that doesn't like it, but that's what I was thinking about becoming a member. But it's definitely worth getting more Omi. Absolutely, taps. Let me know did anyone go for this drop? And if you did go for the drop, somebody had to have gotten a secret rare. Shout out to Fun Under the Sun. How we doing? How we doing? There's definitely going to be an almost gone tab. That would be awesome to see. Like when the supply gets below 5 left or something. Oh, okay. Good to know. I know they do have a physical piece. I think VeVe 3 has one. But they did talk about there's another physical piece that has like an animation of it or something like that. So maybe there's different variations of the physical. And what if they surprised everybody and gave, an airdrop of the animated hammer to the full set holders? That would throw everything for a loop. Let's go, Tom Salad. Yeah, you can't go wrong with 1 million Omi, man. I need a couple more million Omi too. Play through games. Glad to see you back as well, supporting the channel. I'm always torn. What do you guys want to see? Me go do a live show for every single drop, like even the comic books that may not be important? I ran a poll on Instagram just to see what people's thoughts were, and majority leaned to do just like the bigger drops. And of course, I have a little bit more fun when I just stream like the bigger drops when I'm going for them. But since I haven't done a live drop in a few days now, I wanted to come back, touch base with the fam. Hope everything's all well with everyone. Wow, ultra rare. Grab the comic you want. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, Lee Wong. That's the biggest thing too, right? It's like when you grab the things that you like or things that you love. Oh, you're telling me to grab the comic I want instead of loading up some duplicates. Yeah, I am going to do that. But just as a whole, you know, in general, when you do go after things you love, you're not even really worried about the prices on them because you're collecting because you like it. Omi was technically proof of reputation when on GoChain, but now that it's on IMX, no clue. Yeah, good point. Someone asked a good question here. Proof of work, proof of stake, proof of authority, etc. Omi is proof of IP. Omi is proof of IP brands. That's what Omi is. That's funny. Yes. I do think this real talk. This is something that most people never even really talk about. Envelope technology. This is amazing. Now, I don't know if anyone's really heard. I think it was Dan. You know, Dan Crothers talked about this in an early AMA. This is when he brought up Superman and talked about their capes. I have played this on a live drop before, like went over this, but I want to go over a little bit again. I don't have the video offhand, so I can't bring it up. But maybe if I can find it. The question is, real talk, do you think the NFT accessories like the Thor hammer will have envelope technology so you could attach the Thor hammer to Superman and sell it together for additional value? Absolutely. This is definitely going to happen. Now, the reason why I say this, it's kind of speculation, but it's kind of not. Dan Crothers has stated before, this is before Superman even launched. He said, I'm not guaranteeing anything. You know, I'm not saying that we have this for sure, but just say, for example, we release an uncommon Superman. Cough. You know, anytime Dan coughs, it's a confirmation. Shout out to Dan. But he said, you know, what if one day we release an uncommon Superman and then later on we release, you know, different variations of capes. And then with those capes come a secret rare, like maybe a blue fluorescent or like a golden fluorescent cape. And then you compare that with your Superman, put it together as one and sell that together like a Superman with a secret rare golden cape, or you can detach it and sell them separately. So without them actually saying the envelope technology, I believe that's 100% in the works. And for me, that's personally why I'm holding my 2 Superman, because I want to, my whole vision in my showroom was I'm going to have one OG Superman, never touch. It's not originally owned, unfortunately. I got it when it was like $75, $100. And then my other Superman, my duplicate Superman, I want to get the golden secret rare cape. So you have like one OG Superman, one golden cape Superman. And that's just my strategy, my kind of thought process on it. But I do think that we could definitely see that in the future. So you could see it probably with the lightsabers, maybe with the Thor hammer, different accessories, Eye of Agamotto. That's amazing. I haven't heard this question before, so real talk. I'm so happy you brought that up because it gets me excited every time I start thinking about that stuff. It's just you got to think like how many, you know, you just got to think of like how many little things have to come out first before all these things that were in the works really roll out. But now that we have cash out, KYC verified, cash out's coming soon for everybody. It's not even coming soon. It's here. You know, game changing. Now we can start to see some of these features that were probably held back a little bit, you know, start to roll out. I got the ultra rare Johnny gonna flip for Donald and Daisy. That's a smart move, in my opinion, Mark. I was gonna get another Donald and Daisy for like 190, and I can't believe I didn't. Because I'm a huge believer in that. I think it's gonna go back up over 1,000 easily. It's the first appearance of Donald Duck and Daisy. I don't have 100 of them like Kay. I only have one of them, but I was going to pick up another 1 or 2 of them. But I just want to make sure I lock in this comic because I feel like once I get this, I'll feel complete. And then I can start adding the duplicates. I already have some duplicates that I got for when we do hit a bull market again. I can let them go. But Winnie the Pooh's another great one. I do have 2 Winnie the Poohs right now. I think Winnie's another steal at the moment. Jaws QB from Eagles. Yep. Hall of Fame QB from the Eagles. And so he owns like a lot of courses in my area. You know, Valley Brook. That's the course that I practice at a lot. Valley Brook. Shout out to Valley Brook. River Winds. River Winds is my favorite course. There's just something about that course. It's kind of like wide open. There's a lot of water around the area. The 17th hole is my favorite hole in the world. It's like a downhill island green with the Delaware River all around it. So just the scenery looks amazing. And it's only like 130 yards. So like I use a little like wedge, or depending on, it's windy though. So it depends on the wind. You can use a pitching wedge up to like an 8 iron on that hole. So I usually use like a little longer of a club and just try to keep it low. But yeah, I've talked to him a bunch of times, trying to hook up Ron to get into with VeVe. So we have, it would just be perfect with like the football players, Eagles. Could you imagine having Hall of Fame Eagles, NFL players in 3D AR premium digital format on the VeVe app? Brian Westbrook, Donovan McNabb, Dante Culpepper, Ron Jaworski, Brian Dawkins. Like, you guys may not be Eagles fans, but even not, if you're not, like, those are some legendary players where, as we roll out NFL players, man, I would love to see like a Hall of Fame section. I've been trying to make it happen. Wow, secret rare. You got the secret rare? No way. You said ultra rare. Wow, let's go. So we did get a secret rare on the drop. Let's go. Shout out to Mark Freeman. I don't know what it's going to sell for, to be honest. I think if there's only a few in the market, I could see it being like anywhere from 300 to 500. But I think it'll dip back down to like 200, 250, 175 as more and more get, you know, piled in there. That's some proof of David Hughes' hairline. That's some real utility. I feel like Mr. Rose has been making you jokes nonstop. That's hilarious. That is utility. All right. From now on, anytime we say utility on YouTube, but really on Twitter, we have to say utility with YU, okay? Like anytime you say utility, that's a new thing. You just have to say YU with the utility. You have to spell it like that. That's hilarious. Dr. Strange in the building. How we doing, my man? Long time no talk. Shout out to the Alien Crew. Wow, Mark Freeman. That's amazing. You got the secret rare, man. I still would rather have the FA Donald and Daisy, but you know, you may want to hold out until you can maybe sell that for a premium. I think it could come out pretty high right away and then kind of work its way down, but there's only 1,000 editions of that. Keep that in mind. Only 1,000 editions of these. Less than 1,000 because you know the Comey team's going to take some. Ooh, what's the best long-term hold? TY with the questions today. Ultra rare Spider-Man FA or ultra rare Vader FA? Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. All right. Let me just talk about them here. I have one of each. I have a duplicate uncommon Vader, but I have the full set of the Spider-Man and the full set Vader, pretty much one of each. Let me give you the pros of each here. Ultra rare Spider-Man is the first ever Marvel NFT. So when you Google first ever Marvel NFT, that's what pops up. It's going to give it a lot of validation. Also, it's just part of history. Yeah, the first ever Spider-Man in digital format and the first ever Marvel NFT. So it's like a double whammy. The only downside with that ultra rare Spider-Man is that it has that secret rare above it. The good thing about that is as that secret rare keeps going up, people will be priced out like they already are. So that ultra rare will be the next like blue chip. It already is a blue chip. But it'll be like that next one that people strive for. Kind of like that first set of Batman. Like I always say, like Rizzo will get out of reach. Todd is still kind of like in reach for some people. So, but it's out of reach for a lot of people. So it's like that Joe M Becky will be those next ones. Becky will probably get out of reach third, and then people will just try to have that Joe M because it's the first set ever. So that's kind of has that Spider-Man thing going for it. Now, Ultra Rare Vader is crazy big. It's one of those collectibles that we've been saying since 2021. Wait until they drop Darth Vader FA. Like, that's huge. Like, for me, when I think of Star Wars, I think of Darth Vader. It may not be the case for everybody, but for me, someone like an average I think of myself as like outside of the fan base almost. Like, I'm just like your average person driving down the street, pull up at a stoplight. Yo, what's your first thing you think of when you think of Star Wars? I'm going to say Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. Like, and then I'll start going into like maybe like Yoda type thing. But for me, that's just what I think of. So Darth Vader is huge. First appearance of Darth Vader, man. Oh my gosh. Because now that has 3 different variations too, the common and the uncommon. But you're getting that top rarity, which I think will be big. Because I see Ultra Rare Vader being like 5K, then 10K. If it was me, I would try to get both, but here's what I would do. I would either get the Ultra Rare Darth Vader and then get like a common Spidey FA, or I'd go with the Ultra Rare Spidey and get the uncommon and the common Darth Vader FA. So you have both, you just don't have both top rarities. But either way, you won't have both top rarities because it's the Ultra Rare, not the Secret Rare. So for me, I would probably go with the Ultra Rare Vader and then common Spidey. A couple common Spideys if you can. And my second option would then be the Ultra Rare Spidey and then the uncommon and common Darth Vader. It's a tough one. It's like a flip of a coin, to be honest. And I only lean with the Ultra Rare Vader because it's the top rarity in that set. So that's how I see it. But it's a tough one. That's a great question right there. Let me know in the comments if you would go opposite. Hope all is well too, Doctor Strange. Wow, let's go. Yeah, Dante Culpepper. Man, I know how close Ron is with a lot of these former Eagles players, like Jeremiah Trotter. Like, he has majority of the Eagles players come to his golf course at Riverwinds every morning and play golf. Like, if I went to Riverwinds, it's expensive though. It's like $130 now. They upped the price. Come on, Ron. It used to be like $80, and I would go like later in the day for like $40. But they doubled their prices this year, so now it's like $130 for one round of 18. If I was to play in the morning, so I haven't been doing that. But if I was to do that during the weekdays, I'd meet a lot of those Eagles players. So because I kind of know Ron, because I know VeVe's tied in with the NFLPA, I've been trying to do everything to really make that collab happen. I would love to see that one day. Love to see that happen. Hulk, smash that like button. Get you guys good luck on the next VeVe drop that we all go for. And of course, it helps out the channel grow. I definitely will check the Insta DMs, Mark. Am I not following you? It may show up in my request, so I'll definitely check that. Let me just check it right now, actually, so I don't forget. What Instagram is it, Mark? I see it. I got you. Let's go on the big screen. And you got the secret rare already delivered. Wow, let's go. Tag me in that, and I'll post it on my story, Mark. Let me follow you back here. Just followed you. King Lizard. I'm checking a lot of my DMs right now. I haven't been checking my request DMs. Yeah, just followed you back. Well, it looks like I have congestion my whole life. I thought it'd be gone by now, but I guess not. Holy Toledo, does VeVe have the most IPFAs? They have to. They have to, real talk. Yeah, YouTube. Oh my God. It's literally you for everything. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, for now on, we just have to use you nonstop on Twitter. That'll be hilarious. Eventually, David will catch on too. That's great. Real talk. I mean, when you think they have to have the most IPs, like, let me just most popular superheroes of all time. Like, look at this list. I've got to share my screen. All right, let's look at this list. All I did was just type in Google most most popular superheroes. Spider-Man. FA Spider-Man's on the VeVe app. Batman. FA Batman's on the VeVe app. Superman. FA Superman's on the VeVe app. Captain America. FA and the premium format Captain America is on the VeVe app. Hulk. FA, not yet on the VeVe app, but coming #soon. That's going to be a big one, guys. Hulk, Wolverine, I would say, are two huge IPs that still have to, not IPs, but two superheroes that still have to come that I'm going to be trying to get the secret rares of. I feel like once I get the secret rare of the Hulk, secret rare of Wolverine, my collection is going to be complete until the P word comes out. Crossing my fingers for that. I know Mark, I know, Randy, Chavez, they're gearing up. They're waiting for that one day, or at least not gearing up, but hoping for that one day. I'm hoping for it too. We all want that P word to come. But absolutely, my man. Yeah, guys, if you guys aren't following Doctor Strange, this is another, I wouldn't even say up and coming YouTuber. He's been making content for a while now, but another great YouTube channel to follow if you want to follow maybe just a new person in the VeVe fan, but always putting out some good content in the VeVe world. Yes, sir. Definitely see it for the George Washington drop TY. Is that in the morning? I believe it is. Medium article is not out just yet, but I believe it's in the morning again. Ron Jaworski was an amazing QB. He really was. And just to see him kind of go, do his own thing now. He's got a bunch of different adventures, but he owns a bunch of golf courses, and his courses are amazing. I love his golf courses. Shout out to Ron Jaworski one time. Love Ron. He even vouched for me too, him and his son. I think his son's name is BJ. And, they said, we love Johnny Dunn. Tell him he's part of the family. So I was like, oh my gosh. Ron, I love you guys, man. I appreciate everything you've done. Shout out to Ron Jaworski. We got to get him on the VeVe app. Let's go. Man, that would be so cool to see happen. Yeah, Hulk NFT. I know Miss Rose would love to see the Hulk NFT. That would be awesome to see with an animation of like a fist pound or something into the ground. Kind of similar with like Captain America's shield. That would be awesome to see. VeVe Arcade, I did not go for the drop, my man. Decided to pass on this one. I just felt like with the $60 price point, I don't absolutely love the hammer, Thor's hammer. If this was like I was saying earlier on the live stream, if this was like a Tiger Woods type drop and it was like all his different polos, I would still go for it because I'm a huge Tiger Woods fan. But most of the people would be like, I'm skipping that drop. And that's perfectly cool. It's perfectly fine. It's like, this is a drop, I think, geared towards the big fans of Thor, Marvel. They don't really care if this is going to be a high-end, valuable type thing. They're just going to get it because they like it. It's cool. But for me, someone who's not in love with this type of drop, type of collectible, I'm just going to pass on it. If it comes out extremely cheap in the market, maybe I'll grab one for like half off or something. But I'm trying to be disciplined with my gems right now. You probably weren't here, Arcade, for the very beginning of it, but I'm trying to reach a comic or collectible. Don't want to give it away, but it's either at 1,000 or just under 1,000. It might be right around there. And I'm only at like 300 gems right now. So I'm trying to work my way up. But I'll tell you what, it is hard to save up to a certain price point when you see all these deals in the market. I was looking at some of these collectibles that I already have one of, maybe two of. I'm like, do I add more duplicates right now? Oh my gosh, how can I pass it up? And if I didn't have duplicates of other collectibles, I would definitely be doing that. But because I've got a pretty good amount of duplicates of other ones, I'm trying to lock something in that I don't have just yet. So I'm trying to save up to about 1,000 gems. I could cash out, but I'm trying to reinvest that into something I don't have just yet, because once I get it, I'll feel like my collection is complete almost. There's like one thing that I just don't have yet. I don't really need it, but for me, it's just something I really, really want. Yeah, Venom's going to be another great one too. Venom. And I definitely think that'll be on the VeVe app one day. Venom's going to look crazy cool. I think it'll look sick. Doctor, how do I find your channel? I tried typing it in, can't find. All Things Strange, VeVe. Yep. So Dr. Strange's YouTube channel, All Things Strange. And you probably type in VeVe too, and that'll definitely pop up. That's how we do it, VeVe fam. Again, VeVe Arcade, another great YouTuber as well. VeVe Arcade, Doctor Strange. And we got the man himself, the legend, the myth, the legend, Luke Blackbeat. Let's go. Speaking of Hulk, I think he heard the Hulk drop, because my first ever gift, I think, and maybe not my first ever gift. I think someone gifted me a comic before, but I'll tell you what, I think it might have been my first ever secret rare. I don't know if I picked one up. Maybe I picked one up personally before, like one or two, but either way, shout out to Luke Blackbeat, man. I'll never forget this. I still have it in my collection. Gifted me a secret rare Hulk comic book. Let's go. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but that Hulk's not worth anything. Doesn't matter. The fact is, it's a secret rare Hulk comic book that I was gifted. I'll never forget that, man. Luke, I appreciate you so much, brother. It meant the world to me. Just want to say thank you, bro. Like, meant a lot, big time. Can you keep up with 5 drops every day? That would be a tough one. Real talk. And I'm always like in the, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do still. If I want to live stream every single drop, just do the big drops, maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. I just want to do things that I have fun doing and that you guys like as well too. Like the VeVe Goth vlogs. I had so much fun doing that. But again, it may not be the most watched, most viewed thing. It takes a long time to edit, like 5-6 hours. But again, that's just something fun I like doing. So I'll probably keep doing them. But I'll get back to the live drop shows a little bit more consistently. Also, finally, I will be, doing some other kind of content as well too. Spawn, Venom, yeah, they'll be huge. Man, Venom FA, whew. I'm not sure. I just want to stay on until the market opened, and then I'm going to be signing off. A little short live today. Short, I guess, hour and a half. It's not that short. The T-Rex vlogs are fire. Let's go. I feel like the T-Rex just looks so natural on a golf course, maybe because of the woods and everything. Market is open, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at the drop. All right, so we got the rare Mjolnir, $24. We got the other rare going for 17. We got the ultra rare going for 54. The ultra rare, the Dark World, going for 42. And the secret rare going for 165. I thought it'd take a little bit longer to get down to like 170 price, but came out 170. I definitely think, I'd rather have the Donald than Daisy, to be honest. Shout out to Mark if he ended up going for that. Or if you end up keeping it, either one. So who won? You mean between me and the T-Rex? I don't know. Some days I win. Some days the T-Rex gets me. I'll tell you what, though. On the 4th of July, I went golfing. The T-Rex definitely got me. Terrible day on the 4th of July. I went golfing. I went to a course called Centerton. So packed. I was like, this is unbelievable. We have people who never played golf before coming out to the golf course today. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to reschedule. So shout out to Centerton. They let me reschedule for the day after or Wednesday after, a couple of days later. And I went to a golf course I never played before. and that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. It was like a golf course that was just made. It was like redid or something. It used to be like a park. They turned it into a golf course. When I went to go look at the layout on this app that I use, they had the old layout, so like it wasn't even the right layout. I was driving down to the fairway just to see where I had to hit the ball. It was a bad experience on the 4th of July. Wow, 199 secret rare for a punch. Let's go. I was waiting for someone to hit the secret rare. Yeah, real talk. This is another huge FA. I'm extremely bullish on FA Harley Quinn, FA Joker, FA Penguin. Those are like 3 huge season 1 FAs that I believe in big time. I think Harley Quinn is really cheap right now. Let me just go over prices. If you were looking to stack something from season 1, I would look at definitely the FA Harley Quinn's 180 right now. I don't see it getting too far below 180, to be honest. FA Penguin's down a lot too, to 220. That's another good one. FA Joker, I feel like went back up a little bit, 270, but that's been over 1,000 too. Those are some iconic collectibles. I love Harley Quinn FA, real talk. Yeah, Punch, that's a good one, brother. I'll probably DM you or something to congratulate you on that one. That's huge. Are you going to sell it or are you going to keep it, brother? 199 is a great mint. Like I said on a couple of videos a long time ago, not a long time, but I would say like about a few weeks ago, I said basically my strategy during this bear market is to hold majority of my collectibles, the big ones, but maybe let go of some of the ones I didn't really love and really try to reposition myself into the collectibles and comics that I absolutely love and see real big value in for when we do hit another bull market. Those I see really going up big time. So kind of like what Mark said, if he swapped his for like a big time FA, I don't think that's a bad idea. But again, only 1,000 editions of the secret rare, so pretty limited. 199 is a huge mint, Punch. It looked like the T-Rex go putt. I gotta start using the T-Rex like in every shot. Because I feel like the T-Rex, the dinosaurs just look lifelike in the outside, with the woods around and everything. But again, guys, don't feel bad if this one doesn't sell out right away because San Diego Comic-Con could bring in some new users. I don't know if it's going to bring in a bunch of new users right away, but I think those fans that do come on the VeVe app, that do get involved, I think they'll appreciate this drop. So we could see it go back up. But with all that being said, I'm signing out. I will be live for tomorrow's drop, I believe. They have to still put out the Medium article, but we have... Let me just get back to it real quick. They have it on Twitter, I believe. Yep. Let me just share the screen one last time. Not the Hulk drop. Yep. But Saturday, 8 a.m. PT, so 11 a.m. Eastern time, we do have another USPS drop. FA, George Washington. So that'd be pretty cool. I think there's a lot. It says 6 pieces of individual digital stamp art, plus a souvenir sheet. So we'll probably get, 6 different ones similar to this, and then one that has them all on one sheet. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens. Another blind box format. So if it's a cheap price point, I might just go for this one just to have some fun. If it's a cheap price point. But if it's expensive, I'll probably pass on this one. But I think I will be seeing you guys tomorrow morning. So stay tuned to that. Like the video. Leave a comment. Trevor did his thing with the dinos. Yeah, dinos came out really good. I'm not sure if he made those or not. But if he did, yeah, he did really well in them. I think they came out great. Real talk. Hopefully you got some good opinions there. I think Harley Quinn FA, in my opinion, great collectible. I'm still holding on to mine that I have. Originally owned. I have a low mint. One of my lowest mints. I have a 288 mint. Originally owned Harley Quinn FA. Let's go. I believe in that one big time. Hashtag bring Trevor back. Shout out to Trevor. I think Trevor's an awesome person. I think he did a great job what he did when he was here with VeVe, and I wish him all the best of luck to whatever he does in the future too. And if they bring him back, then great, But shout out to Trevor. I think he's a good person. Getsy, how we doing? How we doing, brother? Good to see you stopping by. Say hi. Yeah, absolutely. I missed this drop too. I didn't go for the drop. I just wanted to come on and say hi to the fam. Catch up with everybody. It's been about a week since I went live last on the Da Vinci drop. Shout out to the Da Vinci Pride holders out there. I know there's a little mix up with the animation on it. I ended up holding mine because I love that original animation, but I'm still holding mine. Feel like I may end up selling it if it does skyrocket in value, but only because I have Pride 1. If I didn't have Pride 1, I would definitely hold the Pride 2. But we'll see what happens. I think an airdrop's a possibility in the future for the full set holders. But with all that being said, Getsy, I appreciate you big time for tuning in. Just saying hi. Appreciate everyone who tuned in today. It's been about 8 days since the last live drop show, so good to be back. And if you guys are going for the drop tomorrow, even if you're not, always good to say hi, stop in. But with all that being said, I'm signing out today. Later, fam. Absolutely real talk. Hopefully you got some good opinions there. Like I said, Harley Quinn FA, Penguin FA, Joker FA, obviously the Batman FA. But those are some iconic Season 1 collectibles that I see almost like no ceiling for in the future. If I had like thousands of gems right now, I would definitely be loading up on all three of those ones I just said, especially FA Joker, FA Harley. Those would be big ones right there. I just think of, first appearances of legendary characters, whether that's a superhero or villain, just legendary characters that I feel like the whole world knows. And those are definitely some of them right there. So appreciate you guys for tuning in today. I'm signing out. It's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out, fam.